Hi, this is Eti Elkis.
And this is Karen Cohen, and we are Yentas in the City. Welcome to our very first episode of Yentas in the City. I'm here with my co-host, Eti Elkis, and we are so happy to be here. Eti, can you tell our followers a little bit about why we wanted to do this podcast, and can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Eti Elkis. I've been a part of the entertainment business for many, many years. Karen and I have been friends for over 30 years, best friends for over 30 years. And a lot of people, because Karen and I are very different, but we have one thing in common. We share love and empathy for people, and we're very curious. Karen and I are very curious individuals. We are interested, there are people that are interested in people because they want to talk about people. We are interested in people because we are really interested in people's stories. So a lot of people throughout the years approached both Karen and I, and they said, you know, you guys are so different. How come you guys are friends? And what do you guys talk about? A lot of people called us up and said, how do we get in with your club? Because you guys are always together. You have so much fun. Karen and I travel a lot together, at least twice a year. We go on vacation together. And I became the Facebook queen, so I post a lot of our travel adventures. And people said, what do you and Karen discuss? And, you know, do you talk about people? And we talk about people, but not the way people think that we talk about people. We talk about politics, we talk about books, we talk about controversial issues that a lot of times are not addressed in communities like adultery, homosexuality, politics, a lot of things that people really normally don't like to bring to the table. And you know, a lot of people, because people showed interest and because both Ken and I come from different fields, which Ken will discuss what field she came, the opportunity, we were presented with an opportunity to do this show. And basically, we are both true believers that when a person looks at the good in other people, they find the good within themselves. And we thought by bringing those issues to our followers and our listeners, they might look at people that they judge for a certain way and maybe see their side of the story. And I think that when we do that, we are going to do kind of unite communities together and kind of understand and have empathy for the other. And maybe we can build a stronger community. That's it. I think that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring really controversial issues and address them and maybe get people to understand the other side and bring the communities together. Karen, you want to tell us about yourself?
Yes, thank you, Eti. Yes, as Eti said, we've been best friends for over 30 years, and I have worked as a bilingual therapist in the Los Angeles area for over 20 years. And I love helping people. That's my background. And I was interested in doing this podcast with Eti so that we could bring these issues to the table that Eti discussed. And I love hearing about people's journeys and their trials and tribulations. And we just want to bring this to light and to have everyone share other people's journeys with us. So I'm excited to work on this podcast, and we have amazing guests coming up, and we want to share a little bit about some of our upcoming guests. Our first guest that we have, Eti and I were just fascinated with our very first guest, which is Nessim Black. His parents were the first rappers in Seattle, Washington, and he was a Christian man who then became an Orthodox Jewish man later in his life. And we interviewed him as an Orthodox Jewish rapper today. And we hear his story about his conversion and his life and his work in the rap industry. So it's a really a fascinating interview, right, Eti? He's
yes,
an amazing
absolutely.
Man.
We have a lot of, one of the reasons we brought Nissim, and we are bringing a lot of athletes and people in the arts, because Karen and I, through the research that we did, we found out that even though people come from different backgrounds, usually arts and music brings them together. So we chose.
Unites us. Yes, it unites everyone.
We're going to have Josh. You want to tell them a little bit about Josh, Karen?
Incredible story. Josh was an Orthodox Jewish woman who transgendered to be a man and is now a father of 4 children. And we hear his personal journey throughout his transition. And it's also an incredible story, fascinating. And I think everybody's going to be really just enlightened by what he went through.
You know why I'm laughing? Because the next guest that we are also going to, already interviewed, we are going to release it soon, is Taylor Dane. And those of you who don't remember who she is, Karen, you don't believe that I'm going to do that? Karen, can you tell them by the song who she is?
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure everybody knows who she is, but
well, yes, are you ready?
Sing it. I'm ready.
Tell it to my heart, tell me I'm the only one. Is it really love or just a game? Tell it to my heart, I can feel my body rock every time you call my name. Okay, I'm keeping my day job. As I said in the interview, I'm keeping my day job.
You know why that song is special? Because when Karen and I were in
high
school, I just got to the US. I was like an ESL student. So the song just came out and Karen will just sing and I would drive and I would just go, tell it to whatever, and just
ESL style. Oh my God.
I think I only knew tell it and heart, but yes. It sounded good. So
I remember cruising down Melrose, blasting Taylor Dane.
Did you ever finger on the show?
Did you ever imagine that in the year 2020, like we're on Melrose Avenue as high school students, did you ever think that we would interview Taylor Dane in 2020 in your life?
No.
Ever. And sing with her. Uh-oh.
You went into therapies, but back then I told you should be one of a background singers.
No. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, wasn't she amazing?
Amazing. I fell in love with her. She is amazing. I think the interview started a long life friendship.
Yes.
We got very close to
so real. She's so real and genuine.
Real, genuine, very strong. I'm so looking forward to releasing the episode that we did with her. She's really a nice, very outspoken and amazing, very genuine woman. As both Karen and I are very strong women, so we really appreciate strong women. So it's amazing.
And she gives us an insight into like the background of working with Michael Jackson, with Prince, like really heavy people in the music industry that she worked with. And we get, some background.
We have Ami Horowitz, which was also one of my favorite interviews that we did. That will be released soon. As an Israeli and as a Jewish woman, it was one of my most fascinating interviews. We got to know Ami and the work that he did. So that's very exciting. We have Mindy Weiss coming up.
Yeah. I can't.
Mike Shoed is coming also.
Woo, Bravo TV, my favorite. TV. Oh my God.
So we brought a lot of people that are both, we know them. Some of them are personal friends of ours, and they made an impact both on our lives, on Karen and I's lives, and other people's lives. And we love sharing their journey. We have a lot more guests that we cannot discuss right now, but throughout the next episode, we will announce them.
Because if we had to discuss them, we'd be here forever. We can't. We have to really discuss him.
So for now, just so you guys know, we are going to release, because of what's going on, our studios needed to be closed. So we are going to release our episodes on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, Yentas in the City. Every 2 weeks, we're going to have a different guest. Karen, what else?
Well, you know, I'm excited about Mindy.
Oh, I'm sure you're excited. I am
You know
sure
why?
you're excited.
I want to tell you, I've been thinking a lot about her. I'll tell you why. Because I'm excited with all the guests, because everybody is, is just so unique in their own way. But I've been thinking a lot about her because we recently celebrated the Jewish holiday of Shavuot, and usually Etsy and I, we host a lot of people with our friends during Shavuot, and it's a lot of stress. And I was thinking of her because she throws these parties for hundreds of people, and it's a lot of work. And I'm literally sweating, saying, how could she do this for a living? I would lose it, because I'm losing it hosting like almost 100 people. So, I just
Can I correct you? I host people, but I don't host like Karen does.
No.
Karen is the hostess. How do you say the hostess with the mostest?
No, did you see your drive-by, your graduation drive-by? Hello.
Okay.
We have to show that to Mindy.
Maybe she'll hire us, Karen.
Oh my God.
Maybe that will be our next career.
It was so creative. Little pill boxes with like pharmacy medication, prescription candies, for the doctor. Lizzie's daughter just became a doctor. And I mean, just the creative things that you gave at a drive-by graduation for your daughter were incredible.
See why we get along, Karen? You have the best food, and I like to be creative. I just do the decoration, and she makes the food, and you should see the food that she makes.
Amazing. Wow. Your cake, I mean, how you come up with these ideas, these fondant cakes, they were like gorgeous.
You know how I come up with it? I have a therapist 24/7 for free. My husband did offer to pay you because of you, I'm not as hyper as.
It's so cute. Oh my God.
So we're really excited. The most exciting thing for me is Karen and I always see each other at least 2 or 3 times a week, either for lunch or for coffee, but it's always with the stresses of the family and work, because both have very demanding careers. So for me, the most exciting thing, other than, our friendship, is that we are taking time to do a lot of research together. And before, where we would meet for lunch or coffee or with other friends, it didn't give us the opportunity to look into depth of things other than driving to Vegas and talking for 14 hours straight.
And why was it wait, we have to tell everybody, why was it 14 hours? Why? Tell them, Etty, why was it 14?
So Karen and I drove to Vegas, and we decided to get off the freeway to go to the restroom. And my navigation was on, but the week before I drove to Vegas to visit my daughter, which was going to medical school there, and the navigation didn't work well. So when we got off the freeway and we started driving towards Vegas, the navigation kept on saying, recalculating, you're going the wrong way. And Karen tells me, Etty, I think we're going the wrong way. Of course, being stubborn that I am, I'm like, Karen, just ignore it. It's not working. The navigation is not working. But before we knew it, we stopped. The agriculture stop on the way back to LA stops us. And they stopped us and asked, and it's really funny because they normally don't stop anyone. And they asked Karen and I, where are you guys heading? And we told them to Las Vegas. And the guy got really upset, and he goes, what do you mean you're not heading to Vegas? I said, well, yes, we are.
He asked us 3 times. Where are you going? Where are you going? We said, we're going to Vegas. We're going to Vegas. We're going to Vegas.
And then he said, no, you're actually on the way back to LA. So basically, when I went on the freeway, I went the wrong way. So my daughter Lizzie was waiting for us in Las Vegas, but it took us 14 hours to get to her house, only to leave at 7 o'clock in the morning and drop Karen off at her work. so, so we practically went to Vegas, had dinner with my daughter, and drove back to LA. Who else will do that for me, Karen, except you? No other friend will drive with me 14 hours just to have dinner with my daughter.
But the point is, we had so much to talk about, and we always have so much to talk about, that we didn't even realize that we were headed back to LA, because we're just talking and talking and talking and talking.
So it's, for me, this is exciting, Karen, to work with you, to look at subjects that are very important to us and are very important to our children's future, and bringing it to the table and addressing it and hopefully making change in our community.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with this, we're going to say our goodbyes, and we want to thank all of our followers for listening to this episode. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Yentas in the City, and hit that bell button for notifications that we will post. Please remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Yentas in the City. You can also write to us at dearyentas@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you and answer your letters on our weekly advice column. And we really hope that you enjoyed this very first episode of Yentas in the City. And we look forward to you watching our interview with Nessun Black. This is Karen Cohen and Etty Elkis, and we are Yentas in the City.
Thank you so much.